let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Can you see me? Am I hither? Whoop whoop. Hey guys. StreamYard is down. No. Oh God. Oh God. It's StreamYard. This whole time, guys, this whole time, I was like, oh my God. Am I slow? Am I slow? Am I little am I the ding dong? Jesus. Oh my God. And then Mary Jane Doe was like, hey Mary Jane Doe, hey, you're live. Woo, you can see me. Oh my God, I'm so glad I made it to the ether. I thought they had kicked me out. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have offended the internet gods. No, StreamYard's down across the world. Oh, great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. So, oh boy is right. Guys, thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Girl, I was up here doing coding. Girl, I was almost a hacker, girl. I was up here, backspace, da 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 da, DSM, da 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 da. I was up here, restart the router. I was up here nerding out. We hadn't had a little ghetto live in a minute. We hadn't had a little ghetto live. What's up, y'all? Hey, Truth Seeker. Okay, I see you guys. Hey. Hey, oh my God. So, I need to address some things. Okay. First thing is first. I know we're not on StreamYard, but if you're here and you know what I'm about to address and like the video on your way in, just like the video. I will probably address this twice. Now, can everyone hear me good? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm being a piggy today. Oh, you probably are sleepy. We were up late last night with all the foo-la-la. All the foo-la-la. Let me know if y'all can hear me and all the things. Now, as y'all can see, I don't have a upload schedule. I don't have a streaming schedule. I just do what I want when I want. I'm very spontaneous. So if through technical difficulties and all, I'm very spontaneous. And if y'all like spontaneity, then please stick around and subscribe. Like, share your friends, get your dog to subscribe, get your auntie, get your grandma, get your cousins. Okay. So, now, let's see. Okay. Let me set up. Oh, this is going to be ghetto, child. This is ghetto. 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 Did it kick me out of, child, now I got to sign up into YouTube. Lord have mercy. We doing the most today. Computer, we're doing the most. Let me see. One second. Let me get I want to pull it up because I want to do the YouTube things. I want to bullet point everything, so just bear with me. Okay. Just bear with me. We're doing this on the fly. Okay, period. A little ghetto stream. Okay, it's me, Google child. It's me. Okay, yeah, not now. Yeah, save. Thank you kindly. Okay, so now we're gonna go to my history and we're gonna pull up Leanie's live. If y'all are not subscribed to According to Leanie, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I really don't. It must be in my liked videos. Yes. Okay, so let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me pause. Let me mute. Let me pause. Hold on. Hold on. And, you know, I want to start off by saying this. Leanie, oh, she's going. Okay, let me pause her for a second. Let me, therapy sesh. Oh, you're in therapy? Okay. Well, we're in therapy too, girl. We in YouTube therapy, child. So, I want to start off by saying this. According to Leanie has nothing, she's been gracious to me. She's been gracious. She's been very supportive. Every time she even sees me in a chat, she always gives me my flowers, and I want to thank Leanie for that, because you know, we all go through life and we could all use an ego boost, and you know, every once in a while. Now, I could be very thorough with this, and I could go into my Facebook Messenger. I could link it to my desktop, go in, pull up, show, and reveal the lies told at the end of According to Leanie's live. She had brought up our favorite troublemaker, Lord Dandy. Now, I don't double back, as y'all know. And this will be mentioned also in the commentary given on panel. But as y'all know, I have a hard boundary when it comes to my family. And this goes for not only my son, it goes for my mother, my brother, my son, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, everybody. I protect them very fiercely. Because no one has been through more shit than we have. And they didn't ask to be on a public platform. Okay? Nobody did. Cierra alone, has been reaching for fame and notoriety and success, right? And that's my burden to bear. That's what I want to do. That's not what they want to do. Now, in regards to my friendships on here, I have made some extraordinary friendships. Like, according to Leanie, PCT is extreme, and we will discuss that as well. You know, Lionel, Sassy Butt, Mission Impossible, or Mission Possible. I want to call him Mission Impossible. Lord. Team Rose. A lot of people. I have met a lot of people through this journey, and y'all have gotten to know me through my escapades with you know, Dolly Vision, which is fair, right? Because I brought it to a public platform. Now, when I brought it to a public platform, let's be very clear. He was a single man. Let's be very clear with that. So, let's just go in. Let's just go straight in, because I can't remember where Lionel picks up, but I want to correct some things said, and I'm going to pause and stop, okay? So, I'm going to show you. Oh, look at that lovely girl right there. Look at her, look at her, look at her. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, let's see if I can set y'all up on something. That'd be cute, wouldn't it? Oh, y'all, look at my dirty room. Hold on. Hold on. Just 1 second. Hold on. I wasn't ready for this ghetto live. Okay, hold on. I wasn't ready. Okay, let me get my grinder. I'm gonna sit y'all on grinder, y'all. Let me get my grinder so I can give y'all a little stand or something really cute. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna do it real cute. Ghetto. Ghetto. Okay. StreamYard got us looking ghetto. Ghetto. Okay, let me back y'all up. This little, little tripod. This little tripod. Okay, this little tripod. Okay. Let me see. Was that too? Let me go back here. Oh, y'all see. Oh, there's my voodoo doll. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. I just need to hold. Maybe I'll just hold y'all. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, I got my little voodoo doll right there. Okay. Period. All right, so y'all with me? We got the Gatorade popping off. All right. Now I'm gonna start it right here. Okay. And let's see what he say.
Lord of the Drums. But you're the Lord of the Lost Socks.
Yeah, I am. But now, I think I'm more Lord of the Drums. I don't know how I got in here. I don't know which email I'm on. So I've never used this. As soon as I speak, the dogs come. Okay, it doesn't matter. Wow, I just heard the news of this airplane crashing in India.
I know.
It crashed into a building, into a residential building.
Really?
Okay, let me get the chat going here on the side. I don't know if I had seen the chat earlier, but let me get the live chat going so I can keep an even kill on that.
So it was on takeoff and then it just lost altitude?
I don't know exactly. I haven't watched. I just heard it on the radio, on the talk radio shortly.
Okay, let me speed this up a little bit.
You could see the plane crashing.
Yeah, I saw the crash from you. I saw the crash.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it said it was taking off though.
I saw it all.
Oh, you did? Oh, you've been here that long? Oh. Oh, and
No, I had to catch up. I left, and then I put you on pause because I wanted to see how it ended. And then she put the waterworks on. Ha ha ha.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Here's where I go in friend defense mode. Okay, I will go back in this live and I will look and see what happened between her and PCT. But just off a rip of what I want to talk about, people crying or getting emotional or getting overwhelmed or getting frustrated or angry and their reaction is to cry is not a sign of weakness, and it's not something for fodder or humor to laugh at. Okay? When I'm angry to the point where I want to throw bows, I cry. Okay? When I get irritated and triggered, crying is my first thing, not for sympathy or to play victim, because I saw a lot of that going on in the chat, but maybe we'll break that down a little bit later. But I saw frustration. I saw my friend up there. Now, granted, according to Leni and PCT did a great job. I think they did a great job. I think they're both passionate and about what they're feeling and their perspective. But I also feel like I have an insight to both, and maybe that'd be helpful, maybe not. She couldn't get across what she was trying to say. Yeah, and that's a hard thing I have trouble with too. I have a hard time verbalizing what I want to say. when it's an emotionally charged topic or situation, right? But I just didn't like that comment he made where she brought on the waterworks. I no. I've said many times on my lives that when you cry, when tears hit the floor, your ancestors go to work. The people who have gone on before you and has crossed over before you, they're on the other side and they see you crying and they ready to do some damage. Okay? So let's not take tears as a sign of weakness, okay? Or a sign of deflection or manipulation or victimhood or any of that shit. Okay? That's not what that's about. That's about being overwhelmed and want to verbalize but can't. Okay? We're talking not to defend or deflect or to give her an out, but we are talking about PCT here. She's had a stroke, okay? We're not, and I don't mean this in any shade whatsoever. I'm not giving shade. I'm just trying to be intellectual about this. But neurologically, we don't know what's going on neurologically, right? We're not doctors. So crying might not be what it looks like because she has a sweet voice and she's high pitched and she doesn't say what you want to hear when you want to hear it, and she doesn't digest it and it doesn't register in her brain the way y'all want her to regurgitate it verbally. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't like that, but let's continue.
We don't let that out. We don't let that out, Lionel. We're not letting that out. We're telling anybody that. As far as anybody goes, I'm hard as stone.
I am bad and I'm dumb, so I can't tell anybody how to live their lives. You have more of a right to tell somebody, and you're only doing it out of love.
Well, yeah.
We create our own reality.
Pause. There's gonna be a lot of pauses in this. Fair use, fair use. Somebody put the fair use in the chat. Oh man. What did he say? Let me go back. He said something and it struck a thought in my mind. Let me go back just a hair.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it said it was taking off though.
I saw it.
Oh, you did? Oh, you've been here that long? Oh, and
No, I had to catch up. I left, and then I put you on pause because I wanted to see how it ended. And then she put the waterworks on. Ha ha ha.
Listen, we don't let that out. We don't let that out, Lionel. We're not letting that out. We're telling anybody that. As far as anybody knows, I'm hard as stone.
I am bad and I'm dumb, so I can't tell anybody how to live their lives. You have more of a right to tell somebody. You're only doing it out of love.
Pause. Okay, right here. When it says, oh, you have the right to tell somebody, you're only doing it out of love. And I believe that's true when it comes to Leanie, but that's also a double statement. He's love bombing Leanie right now. That's what that is. It's clear as day to me. He's love bombing Leanie because Leanie was gracious enough to let him up on panel, and he thinks he's gonna come up here and kiss ass. This is the play. This is the play right here. Let's continue.
Well, yes.
We create our own realities out of our choices we make. We can fix the mistakes, but we create our own. I can't blame anybody for my drinking. And I do. I blame in my head. You know, it's easy. So you find this person's problem and that person. But
pause. In reference to your drinking, Lionel, you know, I never held that against you. Because a drunk man tells no lies. So I never held that against you. I never looked down on you for it. I have family members that drink. I once was an alcoholic myself. So, I mean, don't get it twisted. Y'all might see me fall off the wagon. Um, y'all probably have seen me fall off the wagon, and I might fall off the wagon again. But I never held that against Lionel, for the record. Okay.
You know, with me, it's a little bit different. People say you get a job. You know, when you're at your age and in a country where they're not allowed to employ white people in corporations, if you've got a business with over 50 employees, you're not allowed to have the white person is not allowed to be the manager. They have to be the subordinates.
Pause. I think it's funny how everyone sees fit to blame the other race. Like me being a black woman, you know, I could sit up here and say, oh, it's a white man's world, and I could play the race card and be bitter and this, that, and the third, and then, you know, he can play the race card and say, oh, they're not hiring me because I'm white and I'm in South Africa. Excuses are like assholes. Everybody got one.
The lower level people in your company. We've got strange laws that are anti-white laws, like 145 or 140 anti-white laws for work, for business.
Wow.
So that's why I do what I do. I massage and I just pay the bills. It's not a middle-class salary or wage as your middle class, but I'm considered middle class in this country. Right. I'm easily, $1,000 is equal to $1,000, maybe sometimes $1,500 a month. I live on. And I can't afford to. I don't know how other people live, but they do. But I can't afford to because I drink it away. So that's mine. I drink and smoke. I drink and smoke. Not money.
Yeah,
So, you know, I was a big chatter. Sorry, I'm doing like her. I was a big chatter in the chat, but then I also had to shut up a bit because, you know, it's easy to judge. We judge other people by what they say and do, and we judge ourselves by our intentions.
Yeah, I think so. I listen. I count myself a compassionate person. I do, and I try so hard to try. Look, there's no way I could step in your shoes, right? There's no way. I'm not going to pretend to do that. But a smile is universal, and a hug is universal. And I can't give you guys a hug. I could give you a smile. If you know where to look, you know where to look, and you'll be able to find me when I have ponied up and then show my face, my live face on camera. But
the thing is, you have to be honest. Tina triggered you.
Oh yeah, she did. Absolutely. And that's why I opened this live, because listen, we all get talked about, right? And it just is what it is. It's part of what we signed up for, right? We're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I've always said that. I always say add some liquor and you're going to love me a whole lot more. Hi Rodney, good to see you. But I was triggered because of the way that it was left. And I can be a bad enough person, believe me. Everybody knows that about me, and my mouth puts me in enough trouble. We
all can be bad, you know. We all can be bad. We all have our shadow selves, and until we explore the ego death and get to understand our shadow self, some people will have a hard time. I know with me, I have to really delve deep and explore my shadow self. And for a while, I was calling it my villain era because everyone has a tendency to... Now watch me. I can pull the race card too, Lionel. Okay? Everyone has a tendency to label the black woman the villain. But see, I don't want to say that because you don't have to be black to be perceived a villain. Okay? Especially not on YouTube. You know, everybody gets it. It's just you gotta wait your turn. You know?
My own enemies. I just don't need somebody's perception from what they heard from somebody else to make it work. I think I think there are times that if it's done in a public forum, like it was done, then and the creator cannot, for whatever, either can't or won't correct it. And in Tina's case, I guess she couldn't, because you said that you cannot share screen on a tablet.
No, you can't. Not a normal.
Yeah, so I didn't know, because I went in there and asked her if she would look it up and then just correct misquoting me and stuff. And she didn't, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to let that fly. So,
okay.
And I believe in giving, you know, I would much rather do it in private. If not, I would rather do it like this.
And I'm waiting to hear when she brings me up, guys. I know this is taking longer than it would on StreamYard, but I don't want to miss it. I want to hit all the bullet points.
We're both up and our voices are heard. You know what I mean? Because typing can be taken like she took out of context, not to her fault at all. But when I said, you're white, you know, and I put a question mark, of course that could be misconstrued in 50 different ways. So that's why I like doing voices, because I think we can figure out if someone's pissed off when you can hear their voice. I think we can figure out if they're hurt or if they're happy.
Now, I will say this. I will say this in regards to what she's talking about PCT. When PCT was talking about the riots in a previous live, not the one last night, but the one where she had on the blue tank top. She had pulled it up, and she had said that she was glad that she wasn't living in California, and she was glad that, you know, she's white. And then she went on and, you know, stated some other things that she was glad for. And I didn't take that. I didn't hear that with a racist tone or a racial incantation. I didn't hear that racially. Okay? And I'm going to explain why. Is because just like when I come up here on my live, you know, I'm very proudly black. You know, Black Girl Magic, you know, hello, this black bitch is back, you know, you know, whatever, you know, I'm very open about it. So I didn't take offense when PCT said that she's glad she's white, because let's be real. You know, if the shoe was on the other foot, what other situation are you going to be glad that you're white? No offense, no shade, but I'm just saying there's very few situations in this life that we are living where someone can say, "Oh, I'm glad I'm white." Very few. So I didn't take offense. I didn't go, "Oh my God, that's so racist." Like, oh, color. I just thought she was just talking. She was just speaking her mind, just like I do when I say Black Girl Magic. When I say, you know, whatever I say on my lives when I'm goofing around, I'll be like, "Oh, that's some black shit." Or, you know, shit. Sometimes I haul off and I'll say that's some nigga shit, you know. So I took it in the same context as she was just talking. She was comfortable and she was talking. Now, I may have to go back and correct that, because I can see how someone would say that was racist, you know, as the conversation was progressing in chat earlier on in this live. And as the chat was going, I was in there, but I fell asleep. And I could see how that would be interpreted as someone not being racist, but as a racist statement, right? But as a black woman and a woman of color, I didn't take it as racist, because to be racist, you have to offend someone, you know? And Leni has a right to be offended because she does have a bonus child that is black. Shout out to Leni for that. I didn't know that about her, but shout out. I was thoroughly moved by that. Almost brought me to tears hearing her talk about that, because that's how it was the opposite for my son. You know, my son, when he was with his father, in the summer, and every weekend he would be the only black child at the table. And if I find a picture of that, it might be on my Facebook. I have no idea. Hey, Margaret. It might be on my Facebook. I have no idea. But at one point in time, my son was the only little black, little cute little thing, little black, he was the only little. I said, look at my little chocolate drop at the table. So, I felt camaraderie when Leanie said that, and it made me smile. So let's continue.
You know what I mean? So I dig this kind of communication.
No, you're a good granny. You're a good granny babe.
Oh, fuck off, Lionel. No, I'm
love bombing.
Proud. I mean, Lionel, you know the story. I had 3 kids by the time I was 18 years old, and people used to say to me all the time, God, I hated it so much, Lionel. They would say, oh my God, they didn't know my age, but I looked young. And they would be like, you're such a baby, like you're so young, where's your parents, blah, blah, blah. Well, all I thought, this is what I thought, if I could just get to 21, people would quit saying this shit to me. Like, I would be of age to have 3 kids now. So it wouldn't look so terrible, like I was the child bride that I was, and the child mother that I was. But now I just wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I'd had enough nerve to say, hey, fuck off,
Wow.
Like, not nice to say, it's my, these are the choices that I've made, and can't respect that, then go over there and talk to your friend about me, So
I don't get it. There are these people in this world that really believe Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he should be arrested.
Yeah, he should be. He absolutely should be.
First, he should be arrested. Then the other one that looks like a dinosaur with a bad wig, a senator in LA. She should be retired. Seriously, she's too old.
I agree with you. I think.
That's their answer. Well, why did you come and arrest his wife? You're not allowed to. Outside.
Cierra.
Oh.
Do you think you fucked up?
Oh. So Lenny right here, we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it. Lenny right here asked Lionel, do you think you fucked up in regards to Cierra? Now, I'm going to give y'all some backstory. I have been MIA on the live streaming scene, okay? And that's because I wanted to take a beat for self-care and creativity. Because I was thrown off guard and triggered by Lionel's betrayal. And I took it as a betrayal. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming because I got irate with Lionel. I had shared, like I said in my last live, I shared the Glares live, reviewing Jimmy and PJ in front of the courthouse over there with Karen Reed. And it was hilarious. So I wanted to share it. And at the last minute, I shared it with my mod chat. And then I forgot I didn't share it with Lionel. And I didn't want Lionel to feel left out. So I shared it with him. He said what he said. And then he called me a dark rose. And then I got pissed. And then in my anger, in the voice clips, I said, yo, bro. I was calling him like, bro. Like, it's fucked up, bro. Like, you can call me Rose, bro. I went like completely DMX New York, right? And then the conversation kept going. He seemed bothered. I'm giving you Cliff Notes. And at the end of everything, he said, my son, Zion, his name is Zion. It's okay if you say his name. I gave him a beautiful name for a beautiful reason. Okay? Backstory. The reason I named my son Zion is because when I was pregnant with Zion, I was obsessed with my dad's religion and Rastafarianism. And I used to put headphones on my pregnant belly. Oh no, not DMX. No, well, DMX too. DMX is my first love. Bob Marley is my second. And I used to put Bob Marley, because Bob Marley, I was under a lot of stress when I was pregnant. And Bob Marley would keep me calm. because I was too big to smoke any blunts, right? So, and I didn't smoke cigarettes, obviously. So I was sober as a jaybird, and I hated it. So that was my pregnancy, was my rehab, I guess you could say. And I would put the headphones on my belly, and I would play Zion Train. You know, Zion Train is coming my way, you know. And I would play that, and Zion would just spin around and kick, and it was almost like he was dancing in there. So I said, well, I have to name him Zion. You know, I was going to name him after my father, Garland, but I put the Zion in front of it. So his full name is Zion Garland. So he's named after the most holy of the holiest place. Because in the Bible, they speak of Zion. We're going to Zion, Mount Zion. Zion is guarded ground, you know. So that's why I named him Zion. And as the conversation between me and Lionel came down, he stated on a live after the fact that, because I went back and they said he mentioned, I don't know if someone told me or if I was just curious and I just wanted to look, because I was just going to let it blow over. And on a live, Lionel had mentioned that Zion is disabled. And I'm sorry. My first response is, my son is not disabled. My son is a AB honor roll student. He is very intellectual. He's a very deep thinker. He loves conspiracy theories. He loves anime production. He will watch an anime and then do the back research on everyone's opinion on the anime and the explanation when other YouTubers explain, endings of movies. He's very into movie production. He's into auto mechanics. He's into video game production. He's constantly on his video games. Is he socially awkward? I don't think so. He just hasn't had a lot of social experience. Not because of me. It's just because we live in the inner city. We live close to the hood, and we always have. And I'm very protective of keeping him out of the streets and gang life and drugs and thuggery. You know, I'm keeping him away from that from as long as possible, you know, until he gets of age where he can decide right from wrong for himself. Because at 16, he's 16. At 16, you don't think ahead of yourself. You know what I'm saying? At 16, I couldn't see myself sitting here damn near 40. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to have other people in my life to direct me away from jail and away from the wrong things, right? Thank God I had good parents and good adults in my life to do so. Because even though I grew up in the sticks, there was still trouble to be had, right? And yeah, I lost my train of thought, but let me continue and let me keep going.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Do I think she got offended? Yes. Do I?
Okay, so he said my son was disabled. I disagree. He is not. Now later on in here and in our chats, he had sent me a thing about Zion's speech delay. Now, does he have a speech impediment? No. He's diagnosed with a speech delay. And what does that mean? Let me tell you. A speech impediment means someone has trouble speaking all the time. Okay? A speech delay is when he was a young lad and maybe in the womb, the developmental process, the development of his speech mechanisms in his brain, okay, did not develop on par with everyone else. So he was delayed, which means when he went to sign up for kindergarten and preschool, he was in preschool. So when he went to preschool and he got tested, that means that he was tested and he had fewer words as a little toddler than the other little toddlers. So he was labeled with a speech delay. Okay? Now, that speech delay developed into articulation issues, meaning that when he gets excited and when he gets nervous and he cannot get his thoughts together, he may stutter. He may stammer a little bit, but he knows what he wants to say and he can say it fluently. He has to pause and take his time. Is he disabled? No. He's not in any special classes with swings, drooling on himself, or none of the sort. And even, Lionel, I'm addressing you at this point, even if my son was. Because let me remind you, it is a miracle. It is a blessing that my son is articulate and as average as he is today. Because a year ago, my son had autoimmune encephalitis, which triggered a KLS-like syndrome in his brain. Okay? And I was sitting in the hospital the beginning of 2024. Okay? Right when Sebastian Rogers went missing, I was sitting in the hospital with my son. And we didn't know if Zion was going to be Zion again. We didn't know if we were going to get the boy that... Now, this all started with flu. He had got the flu. He got the flu type B. The flu progressed. The infection progressed to his brain, which triggered autoimmune encephalitis. If you have read the book Brain on Fire, I forgot who it's by, but I did a lot of research on this. And we weren't sure the effects of this flu type B and this autoimmune encephalitis. And we didn't know if Zion was going to make it out of the hospital. I'm telling you, he had to have steroid IVs. He had to walk around the hospital. He had to regain his awareness. He had to... It's heartbreaking as it is, and I'm going to try to express this without getting emotional. But when we were in the hospital, he didn't realize his father was no longer with us. Do you understand, Lionel? I had to tell a 16-year-old boy. He said, "Where's Dad? Where's Dad?" I had to tell him all over again that his dad is no longer with us. And his dad won't be coming to visit him in the hospital or to bring him home. Okay? So, that is what we have been dealing with for a year. Now, thank you, Mary Jane. Zion is fine now. He's a blessing. He is back to his normal self. He is articulate. His grades are good. He's actually KLS syndrome, if you Google it, is treated by lithium. So he's down. He was taking a very low dose of just 300 milligrams a day. People take more than that. But he was taking that a day per his neurologist. And now he's down to 150 and he's doing great. I've been keeping his immune system because I had to learn how to cook differently. You know, Lionel, you don't understand who you speak of. My son is a champion because I had to learn how to make things that was for autoimmune people in order, and I had to bring it to the hospital in order, or I had to get it from the cafeteria or the hospital gave it to us. But I had to learn, you know, what types of nutrition is going to fuel his immune system to do what it's supposed to do, to fight off flu and colds and viruses that could be detrimental to him. So every cold and flu season, I will be losing my mind for the rest of his life, for as long as I'm living. Okay? So that's where we are here in this live. Lionel had called my son disabled, and he is not disabled. He is recovering from autoimmune encephalitis, and he is better, and he is back. Okay? Now, when you said that, I'm addressing Lionel still. When you said that, Lionel, on your live, on a public YouTube forum, I had the phone sitting somewhere, you know, here, or I was in the kitchen at the time. I had the phone sitting down, or I had it propped up on something, right? And my son was getting his cereal bowl and his spoon out of the dishwasher. And I was making coffee and cooking breakfast. And he heard you. Your voice, Lionel. Your voice. He heard you say, Zion is disabled. She has a disabled son. In your accent. In your voice. He heard that. And he looked at me. And I could see the anger come across his face. And I paused it and I said, Zion, I said, that's not true. I said, that's not, and I'm going to correct it. Don't you worry about it, Zion. He was hurt. You know why? Because he didn't look at you as a content creator. He didn't look at you as a father either. He looked at you as one of his mother's friends. That's what some people don't understand now, I understand parasocial relationships and I understand friendships, right? We can be content creators and I can share my live with you and you can share your live with me and you can say great live or whatever, right? We can say those things and we can be cordial and you can come in my chat and give me a like and a share and subscribe, right? We can support each other in those basic ways. And that's what I would call a colleague, content creator friendship. But Lionel, me and you were in Messenger day in, day out. Whether you were sober, whether you was drunk as a skunk, whether you was being messy, whether you was upset because Team Rose had said something or kicked you off the panel, or whether she had emailed you and pissed you off, I was there. I was there. And so was my son. Every little funny thing, if you made me laugh and Zion heard it, he'd laugh too. Because he'd be coming and going and ripping and running and playing the video games and coming in and out from outside. So he hears the people I talk to on Messenger. Whether I'm in the kitchen cooking or, whether I'm on panel, on a live. He can hear that. And because people are cool with me and I'm cordial with them, he's going to be cordial with you too. But don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. He has a father, okay? Nobody was seeking out. Oh, we'll get to it. Let's continue.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. No, I just asked you in general, is there any part of it that you think you fucked up?
Absolutely not. It was the first time I was honest.
Really, Lionel?
Wow.
Because I've only been congenial and polite to her.
So
I've only been polite to her. She has her problems, and I shouldn't talk about her problems. She has major problems in her life, and I only supported her until she said, I don't think you're real. This is not real. Because she wants me to be her gay husband. She wants me to...
Pause. Now, in my culture, in the black community, in the gay LGBT community, when I say, oh, I have a gay husband. Oh, he's my gay husband. That's like me saying he's my gay best friend. Logically, a man that is testing positive or detectable for HIV, I am not interested in. In no way, shape, or form, sexually or otherwise, romantically, financially, green card-y, any kind of way. Don't flatter yourself. Okay? Now, I'm going to pan over and you can see for yourself. Now, I got all kinds of papers and stuff looking for stuff, but there is no man around. Okay? Y'all want to see behind me? There is no man around. Okay? Speech young. Yes. I consider him like a gay best friend. I've had lots of friends who've had gay best friends, and they'll be like, oh, that's just my gay husband. That's my gay boyfriend. It's just a coin, straight, bi, probably lesbians too, use to describe. But this South African chump took it literally. Let's continue.
Come to America. I mean, I understand. People fall in love with me. Like, we all fall in love with...
Pause. Like I said, never had any kind of romantical feelings for this man. This is a level of delusion I was not aware of when I was in a friendship with him. I felt as though when I began a friendship with Lionel was pining for my attention. I was growing in numbers, and I had a few interviews and panel appearances, and he was love bombing me. What I mean by that, he was in Messenger saying, oh, Cierra, you never come over to my chat. You never hey Sassy, you never come over to my chat. You never do this. You never come up on panel and tell me what's going on in the turtle world. What's going on with the turtles? Tell me about you and Dolly. Tell me. Oh, I want to know the tea. He was all about using my mutual relationship that is not one-sided with Dolly Vision, Jimmy, for content so he can ease his way into the Krama community. Because he was jealous of the views that the Krama community and the characters that are there get. Okay? That's what that was. To be terribly honest, and I'm not trying to be a bitch at all, I had no interest in his content. I had no interest in what he was talking about. I just because I wanted to be cordial, and I saw that he was kind of getting cast away because he drank a lot and Team Rose kicked him out, and I kind of felt bad, and I wanted him not to be, I didn't want him to drink himself into oblivion. In a way, I kind of felt like this poor man is suffering with HIV and he has an alcohol problem. I don't want him to drink himself to death. So I'm going to take it upon myself to be like, Lionel, come on, you can hang out with us. It's okay, Lionel. Gay husband, come over. I was being cutesy wootsy about it, but I never in a million, I don't even think he does look good at some times, right? He can dress himself up really nice if he wants to and if he thinks about it. But aesthetically, his facial features are not that attractive, to be blatantly honest. Let's continue.
In love with a creator. I am not on YouTube looking for a wife or a husband. Okay, first of all. Second of all, if you want to have a back and forth conversation with me on Messenger every single day, that's okay. I will be as good as it can be. But it's not for me to tell you how to live your life. Yeah?
Never once asked this man for life advice. Never once. Trust me, Lionel. I have a plethora of uncles. My mother is still living. Okay? My mother-in-law is still living. Tell me something, Lionel. When I was sitting up in the hospital with my son, my dying son, okay? Did I ever come to you and be like, oh God, Lionel, what am I to do? No. No. There was only a few handful of people I was talking to on an everyday basis during that time. Okay? And you weren't one of them. So, miss me with that bullshit.
And it's not for anybody else to tell me how to live my life. I have to see my mistakes. It's worthless. But I do appreciate the love. But she made a song, art. We call it art, don't we? And she showed her true colors of what she thought of me. She was playing me along all the time.
No.
So, aside from that...
No, I called you fake because in that song, it's apparent to me now that all the love bombing you did and all the you putting me up on panel, you want me to come up on panel. You can go back and look at all his lives, guys. Look at everything I've ever said in chat. It's there. The internet is forever. Unless he's going to run and delete them. I dare you, Lionel. Ooh, that would be some work, wouldn't it? Ooh, we have to go back and figure out which ones I were in. Oh, God. So, yeah, I didn't you were love bombing me to be a part of your life, and he's trying to spin it as if I had some kind of sick desperation for his attention, and that's not so. Let's continue.
I don't bring up everything between her and my conversations on there, but believe me,
lies. I've told many of my friends to be careful about speaking to you in Messenger, because you will air it out. There have been plenty of auto clips that I was not aware you were going to air on YouTube. And you did. I didn't know you were, but you did. And people have come back and told me, Lionel played that on, he played our messages. When you were in my mod chat the first time go around, you played some messages from the moderator chat, and the moderators came back and told me, Lionel played what we said in the moderator chat on his YouTube. And I was like, oh, well, guess we can't talk about that there. Guess we can't speak our mind there. You're famous for that. You're famous for exploiting personal conversations and voice notes for your Krama updates, YouTube Street update segment on your lives, which you wouldn't have a YouTube Streets Krama segment update on your lives if it wasn't for me being so forthcoming with the tea. Miss me with that bullshit.
I've seen her in... look, let me put it to you this way, okay? And I thought about it. The very first time she came up on my panel, she spoke about her relationship with Dolly.
Pause. The very first time I came up on your panel, you had asked me, begged me for weeks, months even, please come up and tell us about Dolly. Oh, when you was on Ernie's, I want you to tell it more. Can you slow down and tell? Look, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Lionel, you better go through. I know I blocked you on Messenger, but boy, you better go through and start deleting all that shit. Because if I ever link this motherfucking Messenger to this desktop, boy, you cooked. You smoked. I'ma smoke your boots, because all of the begging and dry begging and pleading and gassing me up and telling me how pretty I am and how good looking I am, and oh, did you see this and did you see that, and oh, I saw this and I saw that, just to get me up on your panel to talk shit.
And it was a gay relationship, and they fucked 3 times. And her son met him. That's who she is. That's the type of person.
Now, excuse me, Lionel. How do you know how many times? How do you? Because we fucked 3 times. Really? Is that the story? Is that the story I told you, or is that the story you've been given? Is that the narrative I told you to run with, or is that the narrative somebody has given you? Or is that just the calculation you've worked up in your head? Why on earth? Now, y'all think about this. When I met Jimmy, it was 2022. Okay? 2022 was our first night together. I wrote a whole telenovela about it. Why would I still be reiterating that one night if it was just one night 3 times? Why? Don't you think? Now, I done had some one night stands. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I done had some one night stands in my day. Hell, a one night stand created my very son. Let's be real. Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a buck. If I had a dick, Lionel would probably suck. Why? Why would it go on so long? I've had one night stands. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. I've had one night stands, okay? And some of them, at least two of them, I don't even remember their name, bro. I don't remember their name. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember positions. I don't remember who did what, how it started, none of that. None of that. Now, if you go back to my romantic novel, my telenovela, right? If you go back to that, now how do I remember all them freaking little details, them little situations and things and details and how do I remember all that? Is it because I'm holding on to something, or is it because it keeps happening? Oh, y'all so slow to be in the true crime community. Y'all can't put two and two together. Y'all can't put two and two together. That how can I have such a fresh memory if it happened in 2022? Maybe that's because an old dog don't learn no new tricks and he keep doing the same thing every time I see him. Hello? Can I get an amen in the church? We're not talking about something that's past tense here, Lionel, Lord of the Drunks. We're talking about something that's present tense. Catch that tea while you in the bushes, bitch.
That's the first thing she came up on my panel and she told me about her sex. I actually blanked out while she was speaking about it. I had to watch it over again. I was like, wow, this is so...
Are you jealous? Are you jealous? Are you jealous that I was sexually fluid and progressive enough to be open and honest with my audience and the worldwide audience to express my sexual rendezvous and experience with the world, and you're not? Don't act like a prude because you're not a prude, Lionel. You showed your weenie on live in a pool. Cut me with that bullshit. Sitting here acting like, oh, the first time she came on my panel, she was talking about her sex. Bitch, every time you come on live, you talk about this is an adult channel. This is an adult channel. Oh, look, watch me swim in the pool naked. Oh, I took my swimming trunks off. Girl, who are you trying to spar with? Not me, because you're going to lose every time.
Actually, like you just did now. I was just like gobsmacked.
You was gobsmacked, girl.
This is a public forum.
Girl, you wanted to know. You wanted to know his dick size. You wanted to know how he stroked it. You wanted to know every little sick detail there was to know about Dolly Vision. Are you kidding me? You wanted to know if the picture that was running around that the glare got from Avery Shannon, if that was really his dick. Are you kidding me? PJ, you better watch your back. You better watch your back. Your little friend over here wondering what your man got. Oh, I know, but he wondering. I mean, I told him, but don't let him fool you. This is an act.
First thing she blasts on my panel. Now, yes, I am a Gemini. I love the gossip. But we all know that gossip is black spells. They are dark spells. That's what gossip does. But,
yeah,
at the
same
time,
they're black spells, all right. And you know what? My black ass is a whole ass sorcerer, bitch. And you about to get bippity boppity booed on. For real. Yeah. I mean, he's speaking drivel. Like, he's talking out of his ass. It gets worse. It gets so ridiculous.
She does that to Dolly. Her whole account is anti-Dolly or for Dolly and anti-PJ and for PJ. And she got me watching.
Oh, make up your mind. Is it anti-Dolly or is it for Dolly? Is it anti-PJ or is it for PJ? Actually, I consider myself a storyteller. Actually, if you want to know the truth, Lionel, I consider myself pulling back the veil, because God forbid another woman have to go through the mental loops and bounds I have had to go through as a result of something that I didn't ask for. Are you kidding me? So it's my fault. Excuse me, chat. It's my fault that a grown man, a grown 48-year-old man went to a, 37-year-old? I was a 37-year-old single mom. He came to my house without knowing me for maybe like a year and a half, came to my house and started an affair with me. That's my fault. And now his girlfriend feels away. And I was so gracious enough in my polyamorous beauty, in my polyamorous swag, I was so gracious enough to offer to sample her cookies too, if she so fits. So don't twist this as that's what my channel is all about. My channel is about truth. My channel is about pulling the veil off of things hidden. Whether it be black culture, trauma, whether it be fucking dingoes, fucking El Chupacabra, anything. I'm gonna pull the veil off that shit. Because I want y'all to know what I've experienced, so it doesn't repeat itself. Because history has a funny way of repeating itself, doesn't it, Lionel? Now, Lionel, I would watch your step. If you pull this shit with PJ's daughter, you might not be here to tell the story, okay? Okay? Because Croatia ain't that far from South Africa, baby. That's just a flight, okay? They got money like that. I don't, nor do I care to. And baby, if I was gonna go to South Africa, I wouldn't be checking for you. Anyway.
PJ, and I like PJ.
I like PJ too.
But then, you know what you went and done?
What? This is the trivial shit. Look, you gotta learn somewhere, right? You gotta learn how to push all these buttons. You see all these tabs and buttons and things? You gotta learn how to work this shit, right? And I know PJ is a tough cookie. I know she can take anything I throw her way. Why do you think I pick on her so hard? You don't see me doing the same thing to, according to Leanie, you don't see me doing the same thing to any other content creator. Because I might condition, but I don't know if I did that to say Morbid or The Glarer or Queen Bee. I don't know if I could take what they would dish back. But with PJ, I know she gonna keep her mouth shut because her man told her to. Catch that tea. I'm protected by the very motherfucker you talking about.
She comes running to me. Ernie Shelby, he doesn't like me anymore. I said, why are you speaking with him? But she's trying to scratch her.
Pause. Now he's gonna bring up Ernie Shell. Me and Ernie are cool. Me and Ernie, a shout out to Ernie Shell. We always been cool. Okay? I ain't got no problem with Ernie. I don't take Ernie as seriously as y'all do on YouTube. I take Ernie with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? If he wanna go around here claiming stolen valor and saving kids in the night or whatever his mission is, then let him do that. People are watching. Y'all made this man famous. I didn't. Well, excuse me. Summer Wells made that man famous. Okay? Let's be real. Now, according to the Ernie Shell piece. Me and Ernie Shell, I don't know what Ernie Shell was on, but he sent me a shirtless picture. Thank you, Ernie, I guess. And me being me, I'm like, shit, is this show and tell? I said, shit, I was minding my business. And I said, shit, is this show and tell? I said, well, I got some pictures too. We sharing pictures? We can go picture for picture, baby. Because I ain't shy about none of my shit. I ain't shy about not one roll, not one jiggle, not one dark, nothing. Okay? I ain't shy about shit. You hear me? So, yeah, if somebody send me a picture that's questionable, you might get a questionable picture back. That's just how that goes with me. Because I don't hide shit. Now, it's the same recycled picture that Dolly Vision got. Catch that, T. Catch that. It's the same recycled picture from 2022. Catch that, T. Nigga ain't out here taking no new pictures for you dumb fuck. You really think you something, don't you? And all you and Ernie Shell and Crack 40 TV, y'all all sitting back trading the same damn picture with y'all stupid ass, thinking I'm up here taking different pictures. Y'all look stupid. Y'all look like a bunch of horn dogs, man. Talking about a spank bank. Shout out to MK Ultra. Let's talk about it.
Her cookie. She's trying to get her some nutty with these guys on in Kentucky because that's what they are. They're homosexuals.
In Kentucky? Oh, so now we're going to talk about Crack 40 TV. Crack 40 TV did the same thing you did. No disrespect to Margaret of the 606. Love you, girl. That's the best thing that ever. My friendship with Margaret, my camaraderie with Margaret is the best thing that came out of my interaction with Crack 40 TV. And to be honest with my audience, Crack 40, Brad Enlow, okay, Soft Docs, came up to PCT's one night. And I was like, he called me a cunt the first 30 seconds I talked to him. I was like, damn, I said I'm a cunt already. I was joking with him. And we got into this back and forth. And I went on his channel because I said, you know what? Let me be, Christopher Columbus. Let me be Sierra Columbus and go over here and pioneer and network and let me, meet some other content creators and, broaden my reach, Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what kind of content he do. Let me see a little bit about his world and his life. And I did that. And on the back end, behind the scenes, him and Murder was being flirtatious with me. I guess they had heard through the grapevine that, I was, sexually open and willing to show whatever, whoever. But I never showed them shit on a video call. They tried it, but I didn't do that. And because I learned my lesson, I learned to hold back a little bit. I'm getting older. You get wiser as you get older, right? And, so I never did that, but I have sent pictures to Brad, and at one point Ernie had sent me the shirtless picture, and Crack 40 TV was live, and I was in the chat, and he was like, "Oh, Sierra, you over there sending pictures to Ernie Shell, da 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 da. You trifling there. You willing to take a chance on HIV, da 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 da." Just roasting my ass, as he called wrecking, right? And I was like, damn, I said, goddamn. And hindsight is always 2020, right? What Ernie was doing, yeah, he baited me for an okie doke. I give it to Ernie, but actually Ernie was protecting me because Ernie knew what type of dude Crack 40 was. He knew what type of dude Brad was. He knew Brad was not the type of dude. He was like, nah, Sierra, this ain't it. Let me break this shit up right now. And thank you, Ernie, for doing that. Thank you, Ernie, for protecting me. Ernie has Arnie saw something I didn't see at the time. I was too involved with getting love bombed by Brad in his chat, because Brad will flirt with anything in the chat. And if y'all go over there, he'll flirt with you. Okay, if you need some flirtation, head over to Crack 40 TV. Okay, because they will flirt with you over there, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. And I didn't know that. I thought the shit was legit, and I was like, oh shit, let me find out I got a little internet boo. Let me find out I was feeling good about myself. But yeah, Ernie did something right for a change. He brought that shit to the surface in a fucked up way. Now, Ernie could have just told me, hey, Cierra, don't fuck with him. He's not a good dude. He could have just said that. But instead, he did a quick little soft betrayal and screenshotted what I had sent to him and sent it to Brad. So Brad was aware what was going on, and it made me look bad to Brad, right? So that's how that went down. Now, I have not met Ernie Shell in person. I have not met Crack 40 TV in person, right? But narratives, that's what people do on YouTube. They spin narratives and they spin stories, and you have to decipher as an audience what is true and what is not true. But I'm no longer a part of Crack 40 TV. I don't go over there. I unsubscribe. For the most part, I leave Brad alone. Me and Brad are not in communicado. Okay, he was blocked, but he's not blocked now. But we don't talk, right? And to be honest, he's no longer. I'm not attracted to him now that I seen the other side. After Ernie pulled that curtain back, and like I said, pulled the veil back and let me see who Brad really was. The thrill is gone, as BB King would say. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. Okay, so it kind of took the rose-colored glasses off, and shout out to Ernie Shell for that. I appreciated that. That was a genuine, that was a genuine thing for Ernie to do, to look out for me like that. So I appreciate it.
And she sent a pic, and then she showed me what they said to her. It was they demoralized her. They pulled her underneath the bus. Okay. And then I had to comfort her, and she says, "Look, it's not so ugly."
You didn't comfort shit, Lionel. What are you talking about? It wasn't even that deep. I was just like, "Oh my God, what happened? Oh my God, you're not gonna believe it." I was just kikiing with you about it. You act like I was. I was upset, but it was more of when someone is love bombing you, right? And people are playing these dark psychology games with genuine people, it takes you back. You get stunned a little bit, and you're like, "Oh shit, I thought y'all was for real, man." And your feelings get into it, and you get hurt a little bit, like, "Oh shit, I fell for the okie doke again." That's all. That's it. That's all. And then I moved on. I got over it. But you acting like you was a quintessential part of some sort of, I don't know. It's weird. It's delusional. It's weird.
And then she sends me the pic, and I comfort her, and yes, it's nice. It's nice.
First of all, the picture I showed Ernie had my hand over my a pubis mound. Okay, let's get really technical. My hand was over it, so you didn't see anything. Okay, but later on in our friendship, you were sending me unsolicited dick pics, Lionel, in your drunken moments, in your horny gay dysmorphia. I don't fucking know. And me being your friend, I'm just like, oh shit, if you're gonna whack one off, here's the pitch, I guess. I'll just give you what's in my camera roll. Like, fuck it, alright, whatever. And go on about life. You act like, it's like he wants it to be something super sexual and scandalous and to toot his own horn, but it's not that. It was very like I would be sitting here doing something like my nails or something trivial like making my bed or doing my skincare, and Lionel sending me a picture of his knob, and then I send him my picture, and then he just deletes his pictures. So yes, my pictures are probably still in our conversation, but you didn't say, ugh. You didn't say, oh my God, Cierra, that's so gross. No. You said, hey, kitty, kitty, wet emoji, wet emoji, wet emoji. I could pull it up and embarrass you right now, but I'm not going to because it's not worth my time. But that's what happens.
What must I be? What must I do? This is what she is like. That's the real her. And she doesn't like the real me. So there we go.
Okay. So I wasn't talking about all of that. Do you know what she's really upset about?
Poor Lenny. Poor Lenny didn't ask to know none of this. He didn't went all the way around the bed, and Lenny was like, do you know what she's upset about? Like, he didn't told he didn't spin it, twist it, flipped it, and rub it down, oh Lord. And Lenny is like, Lenny gotta bring it back.
Her son.
Yes.
And I spoke of her son. I know why she broke it off with me is because I spoke of her son.
Right. So that's the part. The other stuff that's between y'all and all that, I don't know it. I'm not in your guys' messenger, so I can't speak on all that. But I'm just asking you, do you feel like you talked about bringing it up?
I can see things. I can see you through this screen now. She's watching me with her son daily, communicating with...
No. As you can see, my door is closed. No. Why would my son is a 16-year-old boy? He's watching anime and playing with his friends and talking to his friends. He's never sat and watched a live. You think way too highly of yourself. That's disgusting, Lionel. For you to think that I would subject my son to whatever bullshit you're putting out as content is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it gives me a bad taste in my mouth.
Me with her son, they be on a messenger. It's like trying to own me. You know what I'm saying? And then I must be the respectable wannabe dad. I'm not a wannabe dad. I'm not here to help you with your life.
But see, could it be
wannabe dad? You're weird, Lionel. No one. Why does this is what I have a problem with when it comes to being a single mother. And this is my first child, so I don't have any other reference, but every time a man gets his ego hurt, it's always, oh, she wanted me to be the dad. She wanted me to be a father figure. She wanted me to be her man. That narrative is getting so old. So old. No one is looking at you like a father figure. No one's asking for you advice. No one is sitting with their son talking and waiting on you in Messenger. You were my friend. And yes, you were my friend to the point I didn't want you to feel left out. And I wanted you to know you were missed and you were cared for. So yes, I would hit you up in Messenger and be like, Lionel, where you've been? I miss you. Da 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 da. Where you been? I do that with everyone. Shit, 2 days ago, Mary Jane Doe went MIA, and I was like, Mary Jane Doe, you don't love me anymore. Oh my God. Like, I'm dramatic like that. And you want to spin it as if it's serious. You want to spin it as if there's some sort of sick desperation with me. You're weird for that. You're weird. That's weird.
See that she just looked at you as a really good friend, and she was.
And I was doing that.
But
I was doing that until she dropped the phone.
Listen, love bug. Jake, could it be that she was sharing with you parts of her life that she trusted with you and didn't expect you to use it against her later.
There you go. Exactly. Because I'm pretty sure in the background, or if I was talking to him, because sometimes I'll be sending people a voice clip and my son will ask me something or tell me something and I don't want to repeat myself, so I just continue with the voice clip or talk to my son, and I'll be like, Zion, hold on, let me finish this. Let me finish telling whoever, whatever, right? And he might have caught clips of Zion talking and thought that Zion was like right there in the conversation, but no, he's talking to his mother. He's telling me about his day at school. He's asking me questions. He's telling me about whatever he's watching on TV. He's telling me about the movie he wants me to go take him to go see. He's not in the background contributing to our conversation, you idiots. You're a fool. You look like a fool right now, Lionel. And I don't know if he's been drinking. I can't really tell when Lionel has been drinking or not drinking because it's just, he's a drunkard. So I don't know the difference between sober Lionel and fucked up Lionel. I don't know the difference because I was his friend and I didn't see the bad in him until this happened. Okay? Now, you called me Dark Rose. That hurt. But that wouldn't have ended our friendship. What ended our friendship is when you called my son disabled and you don't know shit about him. But what I have told you or what you have accidentally heard on a voice clip or what you have accidentally heard on a live watching in the bushes. You're weird. Very predatory. Let's not talk about your charges, Lionel.
She wanted to use everything against me.
Okay.
Oh, I want to use everything against you lately. Wow, Lionel. Ever since our friendship has disintegrated into the ether, I haven't been live. This is my first time going live. You want to know why? Because I had to mourn our friendship. I had to mourn it. Do you understand that? I bonded with you. I made a friendship with you. And I had to bury that friendship. I had to say, no, I'm not going to go. If you're going to go against Zion, then I'm going to rock with Zion. I'm not going to restore my friendship with you because you're fucked in the head. No, I'm going to fix the damage you did to my son by saying that on a public platform that he heard. And you know how many times in my head and how many tears I have went over as a mother and I've thought to myself, shit, I should have had my earbuds in. Why didn't I have my earbuds in? Like, I should have known to just have my earbuds in. That way he wouldn't have heard it. But he heard it, and that's a part of... So every time he hears your voice, every time he sees your name, every time someone mentions you or YouTube, he's going to think somebody thinks I'm disabled. You fucker.
I get it, and
She wanted my cockpits. That's what she wanted.
I did not want your cockpits. That's absurd. You would send them out the blue. You would send them randomly. I guess the time difference, it would be 1 o'clock in the morning, soft dick. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, hard dick. Dick that leaned this way. Dick that leaned that way. I thought I was on Snapchat, bro. And then after I would see it, you would delete it. Like after I'd be like, oh, okay, nice dick or whatever, nice cock, whatever. I would say, like, because you're my friend, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's leaning this way, or, oh, you kind of soft. Is it cold over there? I didn't want to, like, hurt your ego, bro. But after I gassed you up, then you would delete the picture because I don't know, because you were planning this whole expose the whole time, and you thought, oh, let me delete it, so when I stab the knife in her back and she goes back in the messenger, my nude pictures won't be there. You're weird for that. How calculating does a person have to be to send a nude picture and then calculate the destruction of the friendship before it happens, and then deletes the picture just in case? I've never deleted a nude picture. I've left it there. I don't care who you are. I'm not ashamed of shit. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. Shit, there's probably some nude pictures in the mod chat if y'all go look. So it don't bother me none. Okay? But you're weird for showing it and then deleting it after the fact. Like, you're lucky I'm not tech savvy enough, or my phone is not equipped enough for screen record, and I'm not fast enough, because I don't know, maybe I was stoned at the time or whatever, and I don't know how to screen record, so maybe I didn't. But boy, if I was on my P's and Q's and I would have screen recorded that, you would look stupid. Now, I couldn't have showed it on YouTube, terms and services and all that, but I could have showed it to the moderators, and they could have seen the fuck shit you was pulling in Messenger. And I probably told them too. I probably told them, like, I know I was at least on the phone at one point with Sassy and was like, yo, Lionel sent me an unsolicited dick pic. What the fuck going on? So, but I laugh it off. Now you gonna spin it as I asked for it? Why would I can Google what a HIV penis look like, bro. I can Google it. I don't need to see yours. I mean, no shade, I'm just saying. You're weird for that. I mean, what? So, okay, so maybe here's a thought, guys. Here's a thought. This just occurred. Lionel, in your predatory brain, right? Did you think that because you heard my son in the background of my voice clips, did you think that if you sent me an unsolicited dick pic, you think my son would see it? Is that it? Was you hoping Zion would be holding my phone or near my phone to see it? Is that the tea, Lionel? Because that's what it's giving. You're a weirdo.
I actually did it, and she didn't. She got such a surprise that I had already deleted it. She couldn't screenshot it. That's what I did. She's slimy like that.
So the only
I'm slimy. I'm slimy, but you're out here love bombing random women in the true crime community, in the trauma community, in the drama community. You're up here love bombing and gassing all these women up just so you can have content for later. Let's not talk about the shit you've talked about. I mean, let's be real, Lionel. You claim you're friends and you're very close to Mel Pandora. That's a lie. You've talked shit about her. Mel, whatever you have sent Lionel in the past, delete that shit. Clear that shit. Clear all of it. Because he might use it for content if this shit dry up. If he get tired of trying to expose me or trying to spin some kind of narrative, I have a feeling you're next. Because when you were in Las Vegas, this is just a little side tea for the girls. When you were in Las Vegas and I was concerned, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know if this is a good look. I was like, I don't know. Like, she looked like she's having hella fun. It looks fun, like it looks like something I would do. Like I would totally do that, but you not being from this country and being from the UK, I was being protective of you, and Lionel totally spend it as if you were like shooting a porno, or I don't know if the Resto Chesto guy is like a porno director. I don't know, but there was all kinds of talk about a gangbang in Las Vegas, and Lionel was spreading that rumor. So watch your step, Mel. Watch your step.
I'm asking about is her son. Do you feel that?
He's a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful man. He's a 16-year-old boy. A 16-year-old. 16.
I'm sorry. Do you feel bad that you brought up her son in the context that you did and how you did it?
It started off by me saying that, and that she also, the very first live, she already had prepped us. She had groomed me. The very first live, she said, and she explained, and she had a friend. We were in a group chat, a range chat. I was on.
Okay, now he's getting ready to talk about Megs. I haven't brought my former friend Megs up because she's irrelevant. Okay, Megs and I had a falling out. We've been friends ever since middle school. I have fond memories of all the things that we did growing up together, and school dances, and etc., etc., etc. Working at McDonald's, us both being pregnant, her dating my cousin, rest in peace, Chris Brown. So, I will always hold those memories as good times, but me and Megan fell out because, or Megs, as she goes on the YouTube streets, we fell out because in a chat she had said that I should take care of my son, or what, some kind of ridiculous drivel, as if I'm an unfit mother. And I was very upset, and thank God I had Sassy on the panel with me, because I was fuming, because that woman knows that's all I do is take care of Zion. Okay? That's all I do. Everything I do is for Zion. I've stopped my career. I've stopped my social life, my dating life, everything for the rehabilitation and the raising of my son. And not because I have to, is because his father's not here. And that other 50% that I would rely on, at one point in time, I could get a full-time job and, say to his father, I'm going to be working, come pick him up, or whatever, or be at the house with him, or whatever, so have you. I did have that backup at one time, but now all my relatives are older and they have their own health problems, and my son's father is no longer with us. He has passed on. Rest in peace, David. And I don't have that fallback. So I have to come up with other ways to make ends meet. I have to be more of a parent. I have to be a mother. I have to clean, and I have to cook, and I have to also be a father. That means I have to teach him how to shave. I have to teach him how to drive. I have to teach him how to hunt. I have to teach him how to fish. I have to teach him how to make a garden. I have to teach him all these things on addition to what was already on my plate. So, and he does have a great uncle for that. Thank God, my brother is still living that can help with some of those things. And my uncle Milton, shout out to my uncle Milton, who's given me great advice and will also spend time. But they have lives too. And I take pride in Zion. I take pride in the fact that he is his father's firstborn, and Zion is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And that will always be so. Okay? So, that's why when you come, that's a hard boundary for me. When you come against or say anything negative or derogatory about the effort I have put in as a mother, when I could be working a job, a full-time clock in, clock out type of job, or I could be more social. There are women my age that go to the club every weekend. I don't go to the club. I don't even drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't party. I don't have strange men over the house. I don't have none of that. It's just me and Zion. Me and Zion. You will have to be something special to get into our presence. Okay?
On her rage chat, and then her friend from school told her the same thing. Something that you're doing wrong with your son. And she broke it off with that friendship too. She told me in the beginning, a speech defect or whatever you want, what is it, speech disorder is not classified as a, what's the word now, disabled.
It's not.
And I went and dropped that. Not on purpose, by accident. And she heard me say it. I said disabled. I should have had it said a speech impediment.
Right.
But you can Google it now. Google it. Ask Google if a speech impediment is considered a disability.
Well, it can't be,
is.
but that's not my point. What I'm trying to get
I
to
would
is, do you think there's
but I'm
a
not some
line?
father figure.
Right. I'm just trying to get to, do you think there's
I'm
a line?
disabled. I'm the one that's also disabled.
Lionel, you're a grown-ass man. I'm asking you, do you think a line was crossed by you for mentioning her son? In any way, shape, or form?
No, her son is part of her YouTube channel.
No, he's not. No, he's not a part of my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is about the Krama community mostly. And if drama goes down in the Krama community, I cover it. Especially if it has to do with Dolly Vision or PJ, because I know my audience is familiar with me knowing Jimmy, and because of my background with Jimmy, I know that that's what people want. They want my opinion on whatever fuck shit goes on with them. So I give my audience what they ask for, and what I see that the audience pays attention to, right? And if just like in this live, if my name comes up, I will review it because I have a right to. But no, he is not in. Now I do have some videos of him. I think a Halloween video, and just some videos of him at a distance, or him doing like a magic trick, or when we were in the hospital, I was so happy that he was playing Uno with me. I took a video of him playing Uno once in the hospital, and posted it. Little things like that. And the main reason I filmed the hospital video is because I wanted the audience to know he was doing better. I wanted family members to know he's up and he's moving around and he's interacting. Okay. Now, Zion hasn't watched any of his past videos. Zion is very much here in the moment type of guy. Okay. He doesn't want to see any of the past videos of him sick or anything. So, and I haven't posted any of him being sick or not functioning. I would never do that. But when he is well, when he was well at a younger age, and when he's doing silly things around the house, or we're playing Uno, or just whatever I feel like is, I let some of the audience know. But is he a part of my channel? No. He's never been on StreamYard. He doesn't know how to work StreamYard. He's never been in chat. he's barely in the background if I'm up here talking to you guys and I need water. But as you can see, I always have backup water. You know what I'm saying? I have water over here, I have water over here, I have water down here. So if I sit up here and talk y'all's ear off and I say, hey Zion, can you bring me a water? He will. Or if my blood sugar gets low and I say, hey Zion, can you bring me a banana or can you bring me something to spike my blood sugar up so I can continue my life? He will gladly do that, But no, he's not a part of my channel. That's a lie.
He always uses him as a prop. This is like this.
Oh my God.
No. You want to put your kids up online, then they're involved with it. Then they can be spoken about.
Oh, Lionel. It's got to be bigger than that.
No.
What do you want me to say?
No, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to think about it a little bit differently. Because people make mistakes all the time. Things that we see, oh my God, you're headed for trouble, right? Like we see the train is going to crash right into them, right? It doesn't help or make it right for us to not just let the train crash in front of them, right? You try to save them from that. So people may see like it's okay to have my son here or whatever, but as older, more seasoned.
Now I will say this: sometimes if he wants to ask me something or somebody comes to the door, he will open my door. And when I'm live, as you can see on my desktop, I'll be here doing a live on StreamYard, and I can see him when he comes to the door. So I might have to talk to him, right? Or and even when I get off live, I always tell him, I'm off or I'm going on or whatever. But no, he's not a part of my live. He knows I'm on YouTube, but if I post something of him on YouTube, he's aware. Like if he does something funny or if he has a magic trick or we're playing Uno or something and I post it, I'll post it and be like, oh, I posted that video. And then he'll be like, oh, cool, you did? And I'll be like, yeah. I was like, man, you get all the views. You got like 1K views. Boy, you a star. And he'll just smile and, thank you, True Seeker. I try to be a good mom. I really do. I try my hardest. I have a great mom. I had a great dad. I can't take any credit for being a good mom because I learned from the best parents. That's one thing I will always say to the day I die is that I've had the best parents. I have no complaints of my upbringing and the parents that I've had, because a lot of things they have told me growing up, as a child, I didn't understand until I got older, of course, So and also, even though, and True Seeker, you might be able to relate to this, even though my father is no longer here on earth with me, I found out that after he crossed over, he was still parenting me from beyond. I know that sounds kind of woo-woo and new agey and spiritual and, whatever, but it's true. It's true. Some things he would say would pop in my head at the right moment to keep me from making a decision, or something would come up in life and I would remember something he would say and I go, aha. And he's still parenting me in present day, even though he's not physically here. So shout out to my dad.
We realize some of the stuff we did when we were younger was not always the smartest decision to make. So, in other words, even though you see that can you hear me? Can you hear me? He should be fair game because he's on her channel. But isn't there an adult inside you that says, no matter what, even if she chooses to have him on her live,
carry on.
he's right, that we should, every time he's right, that we should still draw the line at speaking to or about that minor child.
Exactly. And I want to
I spoke about it on my channel.
I want to take a moment to thank Leanie. I'm hitting this cigarette butt because I'm getting low on the smokes until payday, which is hopefully tomorrow. But I wanted to thank Leanie, for advocating for my son when I was asleep and I couldn't. I had ducked out of chat at this point. I'm not in chat. I wasn't even watching in the bushes because it was like 5 a.m. here, and I needed to go to sleep, and I probably will take a nap after this live or after a while, maybe, I don't know, but I wasn't expecting Leanie to go so hard for my son and to be such a mama bear. But Leanie, if you hear this or if you ever watch this, just know from now on you're Aunt Leanie. Okay? You're Aunt Leanie now. You're Auntie Leanie now. Because I was not expecting, and I'm not gonna cry, I was not expecting you to stick up for my boy like that. And thank you. Because you don't know us from a can of paint. You don't know if I'm a good person or a bad person. You don't have no inkling of how I raised my son. But when you saw what he said and what I was talking to you in Messenger about, and then you came on here and addressed it and stuck up for him publicly, that meant something to me. I don't care about the whole rest of it, the pussy pictures, Ernie Shell, Crack 40, Dolly, PJ. I don't give a fuck about none of it, but shit right there meant something to me. Thank you, Leanie, from the bottom. Thank you.
No.
I know.
And he's not so minor. He's as tall as me. He's a grown adult. He's the one that called her a black bitch after I called her.
No, he did not call me a black bitch. Pull up the audio. He did not. He didn't. That's a lie. My son has never called me out my name. Now, my son, if you listen closely to this live, you can hear him downstairs going ham on the video games. He is cussing somebody smooth out on the video game right now. But he's never disrespected me, and I've kept a open parent policy here. Like, because of his speech delay, and I was a cussing parent, you know, him as a little tot, he would drop stuff like his little toy or his little rubber ducky from the bathtub, and he'd be like, oh shit, and he would look at me like, oh my god, I said it, you know, and I would just be like, no, Zion, it's okay, it's just us, you know, you can say what you want. And so he grew up with the freedom to cuss, and now he's downstairs being a professional cusser right now. We don't have no dyslexic cussers in this house. He a professional cusser. So no, he's never said anything derogatory to me. And, you know, when he was sick, when he was out of his mind with fever and infection, and when his brain wasn't functioning, and he was alert and aware and conscious, but he was very agitated. Yes, he cussed everybody out. He cussed me, the doctors, his uncle, grandma, everybody. He was cussing everybody out because they had to put IVs in him and everything, and they had to do a spinal tap and all, and give him medicine. So yeah, he probably cussed all Roanoke City out at one point. Yeah, he sure did. But I never held that against him because I understood the context of the cussing. And but on an everyday basis, he's very respectful, and he's very sweet and loving, and he takes care of me, and he's very protective of me. And I have to thank his father for that. You know, his father instilled that in him. I hadn't got the chance to. You know, when he was potty training, I had sent him to his father to learn how to potty train so he can learn from his father, being a man. And, you know, a few times when his father would bring him back home, or I would be with, or his father would see me in Walmart and talk to Zion, he would, you know, correct him as a father should. And his dad put the fear of God in him, and he's never disrespected me since. Now, will he be a teenager and rebel and test the limits? Oh, of course. All kids test the limits. He's going to test the limits in the future. Okay? But I'm prepared for those moments, and I know those are just growing pains of a teenager. But Lionel, you're despicable.
Bitch. She is the one that was leading me on. She's a narcissist. She's a narcissist, and she's a narcissist.
I'm a narcissist. Guys, I'm a narcissist. Did you know? Now, I will say this, Lionel. I will give you 50% of a correction here. Everyone on this planet have narcissistic traits. Okay? Everyone, if you are a human being, you can have narcissistic traits in certain situations, certain times in your life, certain moments. You know, if you ever heard the term, let me gas you up, let me hype you up, hype yourself up. Shoot, sometimes affirmations can be narcissistic sometimes, and you have to be to get yourself to a better state, right? You build yourself up when you're down. But am I a narcissist? No. Do I have narcissistic traits? Yes. But a narcissist wouldn't admit to any narcissistic traits. A narcissist would claim to be an empath when they're not. Okay? That's how that psychology go. You need to get some more education. You're very uneducated when it comes to psychological terms of that nature, Lionel. Grow up.
I'm not the first person to report this.
You're not the first person? Oh, did your new friend PJ say I was a narcissist? Did she say that? Funny how that is. You just gave yourself away there. Oh, Peach, he's telling all the tea, girl. He's letting all the tea out the bag. Oh, someone else called me a narcissist. Team Rose wouldn't call me a narcissist, I don't believe. I mean, she could call me, well, she's called me everything else, but I don't think she would. She wouldn't have a reason to, not of lately, right? You know, so the only person I could think that would call me a narcissist is PJ. Hi, Evana.
And it was one step too far for me. You're not being sending me pussy pics. None of you ladies. You hear me? That's disgusting.
It's disgusting that you said that. Oh, you look like a creeper when you did that.
I'm sitting here
What kind of methamphetamine make your jaw? Isn't it methamphetamine make your jaw do that? He did a weird jaw thing. I've seen people's jaw do that before. I'm not gonna go back, but get yourself together, Lionel. This is pathetic.
Even when you're mad, you're cute, and I promise I won't send you a pussy pic. All you had to do was ask. All you had to do was ask. Don't send me a pussy pic, Leanie.
Leanie's so funny. She's trying to break the ice.
I never ever brought it up. I mean, this is up a year. I'm only bringing it up now because I'm defending myself. She's a narcissist. She's a narcissist online. Donnie would agree with me. Jimmy will agree with me. DJ will agree with me. But she has a full-on channel.
Oh, Dolly would agree with you? That's funny. You know, he never said anything about me being a narcissist when he was hitting it from the back May 19th of this year, of our Lord 2025. I didn't hear, Girl, this narcissistic pussy so good, girl. Oh God, I didn't hear that. I must have missed that. I missed that. So catch that tea, I guess.
Like, and she's a very good panelist. She's a very good artist. Then she will be leading me on, and then she just wants to hear herself speak. That's all.
I want to hear myself speak.
Her channel, and then she does this. She's telling me I must wait for her to speak for 3 hours, and then she doesn't even confront what she wanted to talk about because she's a narcissist. She's a slimy little.
What is he talking about? Like what live is he referring to? Like he is like I don't even know what he's referring to. That I would make him wait 3 hours before I address it. Address what? Oh, maybe he's talking about the Glare live when I was reviewing it. He sounds confused. I don't know. This is weird. Yeah, I think he's talking about when I went in and I reviewed the Glare live, reviewing the PJ but I've always reviewed PJ and Dolly. That's kind of like my stick. So I don't know why. Ooh, the Glare. I don't know why. I don't know why the Glare's live pissed all these people off. It pissed off Jimmy and PJ. They made it members only in the middle of the Glare's live. I shared it with Lionel. Then when I reviewed it on my live to explain how me and Lionel was on the outs, that live of me reviewing the Glare's live pissed Lionel off. God, Glare is just pissing people off like indirectly, and he don't even know it. Like this is so insane. Like it's just insane. I can't even verbalize how deep of insanity this is. Like I can't even verbalize how this has trickled down into the bullshit we see right now. Like I can't even articulate it to make sense. Y'all just have to go back and do your homework and research and look, because this is turning my mind into mush. Yes, baby Gap. Yes, baby Gap. I like the Glare. I don't care what Jimmy says. I like him. I think he's a cool guy. I like his content on the Karen Reed trial. If you're not subscribed to the Glare, please go subscribe. He is funny, man. His clips and his timing for his little clips and the soundboard and all the things that he do during a live, it is hilarious. I mean, it's pretty good. Like I would have to edit a video and pre-record it for it to be that good of comedic timing. So I respect it, but not everybody can see it. You boys will be boys fight. But I don't even think Jimmy dislikes the Glare like that. Like I think he has more smoke for Turtle Boy than the Glare, honestly. So that's weird, but okay, Lionel, sure, go for it. Yeah.
Manipulator of men. That's what she is.
So I like what.
I'm a manipulator of men. Please, Lionel, please. I would love, Lionel, this is a request. Please, Lionel, please. I want you to dig up all the men you can. If this is something you feel so passionate about that you have to speak on a public panel, please dig up all the men you can find that I have manipulated. Please, I will sit back and I will watch it 3 times on slow-mo, and I will digest everything you and these men have to say. Where are all these men I have manipulated? I would love to know. If anything, I feel like I've been manipulated out of some cat. I've been manipulated out of this good pussy, baby. That's what I feel like I've been manipulated. Shit. So weird. So weird he says that.
Is used for payback.
It's like he's just throwing out keywords. Like he's just throwing out buzzwords. Manipulated. Groomed. Narcissist. Like you just throwing out these keywords, these buzzwords. Stop it.
that you used her son because you were mad at
works. He works.
Yeah.
He does not work, Lionel. He does not have a job. He is not employed anywhere. Okay? Now, for this segment, I'm going to turn my camera off. Okay? Just for 1 second. Zion! Come here! And we're going to see. We're going to see if Zion has a job. I mean, maybe I don't know something I don't. Maybe Lionel knows something I don't. I don't know. I didn't even prep him to ask this. He don't even know what I'm going to ask him. He probably like, what the fuck? Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And I want you to give me a straight yes or no answer.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you working somewhere?
No.
Do you have a job?
I was.
You wish?
Yeah, I was.
Are you employed?
No.
No. No. You ain't got no secret job I don't know about? You're not employed?
I was.
You ain't stripping when I go to sleep or nothing. You ain't doing
No.
you ain't working at the strip club. You ain't no Chippendales or nothing.
No.
Okay. All right, I'm just checking, dog. Don't look at me. I'm just checking. He was like, Chippendales, what? Oh God. All right, y'all heard it. The man said he ain't got no job, so I don't know what Lionel's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. When he turned 16, I was telling Zion that I had a job at 16, and maybe in a conversation, you know, Zion was talking about getting a job at one point, but no, he's currently not. He does not have a job. I pay for all this solo dolo. This is all coming out of my wallet, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, Lord. I'm blessed. I'll pay it, Jesus. Okay. Why did he get so defensive like that in Snap? He works, right? I don't know. Like, I guess he's trying to paint the narrative as if like Zion is fitting the lifestyle that we live. And if you want to see the lifestyle, I just upgraded. That's all it is, guys. You know. Let me give y'all a little tour real quick. Okay. You come out here. Okay. Get a little tour real quick. A little live tour. That's my bedroom right here. Okay. See, that's where he was. Okay. And then go downstairs. That's the downstairs right there. And Zion, he doing some laundry right here. Okay. And then you peek out this window here. Okay. Peek out. That's my car right there. Okay. So all this that you see, and downstairs too, in the bathroom right here, there's upstairs bathroom right there. Okay. So all that you see here is funded by yours truly. Okay. The computer, the internet, the phone that I'm filming on, all comes out of that purse right there. Okay. By the grace of God, nonetheless. All right. Okay. I've been fortunate enough. Now, when I was 16, I had to work because I wanted a car. But I want my child to enjoy his childhood, so I'm not pressuring him to get a job or to work or any of the sort, because I feel like there's more he needs to learn before he steps out into the world and works. No rush. He has his whole life to learn to work. He has his whole life to learn to drive. He has his whole life. So, I was working at 16. Yeah, I had to work. I was working at Kroger at 16. Full time too. And, but when I was pregnant, I was working 3 jobs on top of trapping. So there's that. There's that, I was always going here, there. They used to joke with me at McDonald's when I was working at McDonald's. The same place me and Megs used to work at together. And they used to joke with me. Her baby daddy, Chris, my cousin, and my other cousins, they used to joke with me and say, Cierra got more jobs than a Jamaican. And that's still true today. It's just not it's not typical 9 to 5 clock in clock out W-2 type of job. Okay, I'll keep it like that.
Yeah.
No, I gave her advice. It was advice. The advice was that I truly think that the young man has a future, and she's the anchor that's holding her back. And if she doesn't realize that she's stuck in a rut herself, thinking that he is her anchor, and it's the other way around. Most of the most famous people in the world are disabled. You can Google them.
There's I don't know what he's trying to insinuate there, but no, that's not true. If I had a career, let's say, or if I went to school, or if I had a career, right? If I had, let's say, if I went back and I got my cosmetology license, right? If I renewed that or whatever, right? Or updated it rather. And I started working at a hair salon. I would be worried about Zion here at home. Because yes, he can cook a little bit, like he can do a little cooking here, he can do a little laundry here, but he's not gonna get a full meal. Like he can't cook no freaking steak and potatoes, and he can't cook like a meal, like something to stick to his ribs. He can cook, a TV dinner and some oodles and noodles and maybe fry up an egg, but he can't cook like mama can. And, I just haven't navigated that with him yet, because his education is more important to me than he is very independent, and he wants to do everything himself, and he should, and he will learn to do more by himself. But I don't understand what he's trying to say about I'm in a rut. I'm exactly where the universe wants me to be. I'm exactly where the Most High sees me needed. If it wasn't so, then it wouldn't be so. If I was out of place or doing something wrong, then I would have terrible luck. I wouldn't be as blessed. We've been on here for 2 hours and 17 minutes. I've had no interruptions. There has been nothing. Nobody has come to the door. No one's knocked on the door. No one's called my phone. No one's coming here, busting through the door abruptly. No drama, no nothing. I live a very quiet, peaceful life. And y'all are seeing that on real time, not through StreamYard. Okay, so maybe that was the point. Maybe that was the reason StreamYard was not working today, was because I needed to come on here in a more real and raw format so y'all could see my peaceful life. And it's a shame I had to step out of my peacefulness and step out of my blessing. Okay? Step out of my blessing to address this. But I wanted to address this in defense of Zion, because he's worth defending. And one thing Lionel did get right, he does have a bright future and he will be a good man. Not because Lionel says so, is because he come from great people, Lionel. And that's not you. Zion doesn't come from you. He's not great because he knows you. He's great because of who I am. Zion is great because of who his father is. He's great because of who his grandparents are. And he's great for who his uncles and aunts are. That's why he's great. He's great because of the family who has raised him. He's great because of the village who has rallied around him. Okay? He's great because of the church and the praying mothers who have prayed for my son. Shout out to First Baptist. He's great for that. He's gonna be great because of that. That has torpedoed him into greatness at a young age of 16. But his greatness has nothing to do with Lord of the Drunks at all. Remember that.
People and the smartest people in the world are disabled. This is just life. Elon Musk, Greta Thunberg, the amazing scientist that did quantum physics.
And I think that's it.
And even Einstein had a speech impediment.
Yeah. And that's very true. That's very true. I'm not going to disagree with none of that he's saying about some of the great minds have issues. That's true. I'm not going to knock that at all. But what I am going to say in closing is that you tried it, Lionel. You tried to spin a narrative. You tried to push on your points. You tried to trigger me into I don't know. I don't know what you thought I was ashamed of. I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you thought would come of this. I don't know if you thought Lenny was going to piggyback on your bullshit. I don't know. I don't know what you thought, but it didn't work. It failed miserably. And you're a miserable man for going on that long about a 16-year-old minor child that's recovering from, a life-threatening situation. I also want to address a few things. I don't know when my next live is going to be. So I want to address, I'm going to start with the PCT. I'm not going to pull it up or anything. PCT knows I love her to pieces. And I love Lenny too, of course. And I'm glad they had a discussion. I'm sorry. I heard it ended badly. I haven't watched that part. I might watch it later. I'm sorry it ended in tears. I didn't want that. I don't think anybody wanted that. It was a very uncomfortable live when this live started out. I thought PCT was misunderstood and she just couldn't verbalize what she was seeing, and she couldn't regurgitate it with her own thoughts and opinions. And I also agree with Lenny. I believe that you work hard your whole life and then you look around and people that are here illegally are afforded more benefits than the people born here who are struggling. I understand that. And it was very uncomfortable live. I was uncomfortable the whole live. I felt like Lenny did a great job in expressing her points. And I felt like PCT was persecuted for relying on resources, government resources. Maybe not so much by Lenny, but by the chat. And that was unfortunate because we all need help sometimes. And I might have to double back on that at a later date, but my energy is spent right now talking about this. And I'm sorry I wasn't in the chat to support PCT if she got upset. And, maybe when StreamYard is back working, maybe PCT can come up, or Leanie can come up, or they both can come up, and we can talk about it, and have a discussion, all three of us, because I would definitely like to discuss that further. I also, I'm going to agree with PJ for a second. I also feel like the powers that be want this division. I believe they broadcast these political upheavals to foster division amongst the people. I think in order to conquer a people, you have to divide them first. So I think that's part of the plan, is to get us all arguing with each other. I think we need to be mindful of, there shouldn't be division. I say this time and time again when I see the news or when I catch what's going on in the world. The divisiveness, and at times like this, and uncertain times as this, we should be coming together. We are in 2025 and we still haven't united as a human race yet. And I don't know what it's going to take, or what solution, or what, but we have got to unite as a people. That's the only way we're going to come up with solutions to our problems, whether it's immigration or healthcare or the economy. We're going to have to come together and resolve it as Americans, So I don't know. I just, yeah. It's the elites who choose what. Yes, it's very much the powers that be. It's they feed into this. They want this. They want this low vibrational fear and divisiveness. This is what they feed off of. The energy, this low vibration. I mean, crazy as that sounds, and as much as I'm piggybacking off of what PJ had expressed in a few lives back, she's right, and I agree. And when you're right, you're right. I'll admit you're right, even though I might not like it. But hey, when you're right, you're right. She knows what she's talking about to an extent. So shout out to her. And when you're in these messengers with content creators or with people that you think are friends, just be careful of what you say and how much information you give. In a way, I feel like if PCT wouldn't have been so open with us about her life and her past and her struggles with her son, and if we just got little pieces of her here and there, I feel like maybe we would have we wouldn't have known so much to attack her, right? If she would have never told us she was on food stamps, then we couldn't, at a time like this, we couldn't attack. Oh, well, you're on government assistance and blah blah blah. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a scoot down and stretch my legs. Oh my God. Oh, that feels so good. Oh my God. Stretch orgasm. Okay. But this was very interesting discussion that happened last night between PCT and Lainey, and I wish it didn't have wouldn't have ended badly. I hate that. And politics are kind of like toilet paper, You might feel one way one day, and then you look back at it, and they might come. They're grown. They might come back around and double back and find some kind of common ground. You never know. Like, things like this work out, But then again, when it comes to politics, sometimes that ruins friendship. So I don't know how it ended. Yeah. And I told her not to be open about everything and who she is. Yeah, that was wise advice. Very wise. I mean, look at what little Lionel knows about me, and he has chosen to use that against me. So it's just unfortunate, the games we play here on YouTube. And I have been disinterested in playing those games. I've been very disinterested. I'm not interested in watching any of the true crime cases. I'm not interested in, I was going to cover a little bit of Black history and some things I had saved in my watch later folder. I have research on vampires I wanted to do. I have more to cover on the Kanika Jenkins case, but I just have been so uninterested, child. I just been so uninterested and unbothered, and the situation between me and Lionel has made me a little emo, made me a little sad, a little unmotivated to to continue content and continue what I want to do. And, maybe I have to just get back to the basics. Maybe I have to just get on here and talk and then go back to create like curated topics and set topics and set content. Maybe I have to get back to just talking, But I appreciate everyone for being here and listening to me gas Zion up for 2 hours. Go, Zion, go. Woo! Go team. He's downstairs like, woo. Oh, God. But, I love him to pieces, and this is your creative space. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. It is. Yeah, it is my creative space. You're right. And creativity doesn't always have to be a set thing. It doesn't always have to be so strict and like a presentation, I can just talk. You're right. Thank you, Mary Jane Doe. But I hope this is the last time I have to address Lionel. For those close to me and those listening to this live, just know that I have blocked Lionel on my Google account. I have blocked him on Facebook, TikTok. Shit, I might have blocked him on Instagram too, child. I blocked him everywhere. YouTube, he can't even chat in here. Like, he's a non-motherfucking factor. Like, he's not going to come in here and disrupt the live or bring old stuff up. He can sit in the block party with Megs, okay? Love you both at one time. Love you both, but I'm going to love y'all from the block party, okay? Y'all can go and get y'all some I Hate Cierra t-shirts. Get y'all some I Hate Cierra t-shirts and go pull out your pew pairs, okay? Maybe that'll make y'all feel better. I don't know. Maybe y'all should start like a hate fan club, like a hate club. I Hate Cierra club, and PJ can be the president or something. I don't know. Like, have fun with that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't have a cure for it. I don't have a solution. I'm not going to change. I don't care what these people think about me. All I can do is defend my son when spoken about. That's it. That's all. That's as far as my job goes. And, yeah, So if you like this live and, you know, you like being spontaneous, and maybe later on after a nap and something to eat, I might come back and just talk to y'all or whatever. But you know, like the video, subscribe, turn on all your notifications, because you never know when I'm gonna pop up on your ass. And yeah, it'll take a while for this live to render, I believe, because it's on the YouTubies. So that's a whole thing. So, you know, hopefully if y'all in the comments just be like, hashtag rendered, hashtag rendered, and let me know y'all watching the replay or something. I haven't been on this live on straight on YouTube like this in a minute, so I don't know how these long lives, how long it will take or whatever. But yeah, had fun. That was fun, kinda. It was very stressful. I think I cried twice. Oh my god. Oh my god. We can breathe. It's over. It's over, guys. It's over. And we can just move on. You know, and if someone mentions me, I'm going to like talk about it. That's just how this game goes. Like, I'm going to address it and I'm going to talk about it. But like I always say, until the next time, or until I pop up again or something pops off, y'all, I'll holla. Dubai. Thanks for coming.